Okay, stop. Take a good look at the locomotive number of that Ferromex Gevo, number 4647. Keep it in the back of your head because it'll be important later in the video. I don't know what it is, but familiar locomotives just keep showing up when I'm at Trackside. Today's May 8, 2019, and an unexpected meeting with Train 37T brought me an unexpected visitor from south of the border in the form of the shiny FXE unit. I just happened to be in the area, and as such, I usually have my radio tuned into the railroads, and wouldn't you know it, I hear the 37T's crew calling out the signal at CP 672, so I rushed to our usual location with only enough time to set up one camera and caught the dynamic duo just as they came around the bend. Exactly 1 year ago, almost to the day, I had a similar occurrence take place. It's now April 26, 2018, and notice how much difference a few days can make in terms of the leaves on the trees. The trailing Union Pacific GE is the ex-Chicago and Northwestern number 8702, which has sadly seen its identity overshadowed by its new corporate master. More to our interest is the trailing Ferromex number 4674. Think about that. Just transpose the last two digits of the cab number and you have some incredibly rare deja vu. In typical operating fashion, the Enola-bred Train 14R wasn't far behind, and trailing in the third position was the NS number 9443. I've run into this locomotive several times over the years, at least 5. One time was on the now abolished Train 11A out of Northumberland when we caught it just as it was coming onto the now River Line at CP Case. Now is a good time to explain something that I haven't talked about in the past, and that's how the 10A and 11A moved in and out of the Northumberland yard. Looking at a screenshot of the Wikimapia map, you can see where the river line merges into the Buffalo line at CP Case. Once the entire train clears the switch, the whole train must then back up into Northumberland yard. For the train 11A, the movement was just the opposite. The entire train had to back out of Nori and then forward onto the river line. As you can imagine, this was a time-consuming operation and maybe why it was abolished. Although, if history hadn't changed things, this time-consuming operation could have been avoided. Take a look at this aerial screenshot of Bing Maps because I don't like Google. The red line is today's River Line and Buffalo Line. But look at that yellow line. That's a now long-gone track that existed in the days of the Pennsy and the Penn Central. In our ALTOONA video that I did more than a year ago, I talked about a little-known operation that existed between the Pennsy and later Penn Central with the Delaware and Hudson. As you may know by now, the River Line was once the Pennsylvania Railroad Wilkes-Barre branch to Buttonwood, and in the days of interchange with the D&H, the Pennsy would run traffic down to this point and utilize that long-gone track into Northumberland Yard. From there, the train would go to Lock Haven, where it picked up the Bald Eagle branch south to Tyrone, Pennsylvania, and its connection with the Middle Division to Altoona and beyond. The Bald Eagle branch is now today's Nittany and Bald Eagle, run under the North Shore system. I point this out because this operation lasted into the dark days of Penn Central, and both PC and D&H did a brisk business on these lines. This is important because when most people talk about the Pennsy, as far as they're concerned, if it didn't happen on its Philly to Chicago route, then it didn't happen. Same thing on Penn Central. With all the ammunition that PC gave critics to focus on, rarely did anyone pay attention to the smaller, lesser-known operations like this one. Well, I'm here to start shedding some light on them. Okay, getting back to the 9443, yeah, you probably forgot about that at this point. It showed up again on Thanksgiving Day 2016 on train 37T behind Canadian National Blue Devil number 2455. Strange to me on this day was that all three units were operating on such a short train. For Trains 21, call me AC.